Right, we be akwa at the sports arena. So brass to say na ye de agudie mu nsam to me at the ebrew na sanada ye kanono. Agudie mu nsam na ye de ba no. De ye ne se ye bomodin say ye be mo diska esan say obi odi agro na chi bia no. Metumi aka kiro say nipa kro no sikanti from the footballers even omo invest ska ewo football mu kra no. Sikantia but wa wudi agro na chi na de bia auto ticket de bia na wato bando na wo hwe mo kwa mo so fa so nya musika no any match bia obehwe bia no omo musika omo ye de omunya eti my bet ekofa ba se wudi akire no bomoden a se oso ubetumi anya sika ne beti atrase sei no ye be yi nsem no mu ba ko na ya bomoden a se ye be kirekirem atumi di ama sa na be ya oso betumi asalati bi na oso betumi adi enra me also me the buy ultimu say SK Rapid Vienna for no mo ball 1-1 ya mo na me 20 us almost say no ya e de emame but we will go again say ye be hwe na afi bibia so no atumi akoye hia no say show no etwagu ewo DJ Kwaku Slim o Facebook DJ Kwaku Slim ewo Facebook uko YouTuber MYBET.AFRICA TV, MYBET.AFRICA TV. Now online radio no MYBET online radio. But modia na wone yentina o join the show na no modia na wa share say na be ya wo nua so ebehu say ampa nkofo na ba beta konfo na aba na ye ba aba be ma awonye sika na afi bibia so no atumi akọ eye honum hyene nso bebre efama ye say udu wo a na watumi a share na bibia atumi akọ ye bo modia na join your Telegram account or Telegram account Sports Arena SPORTSARENA eno ene say baby a je utese ubenyan say ye ma us na wo so watwa na bibia so no akoyie no eho no enra games no Europa League games no say ni tumi koyeye aya Atletico Bilbao che AS Roma share 3-1 Eintracht Frankfurt share Ajax 4-1 Lazio any Victoria Pilsen 1-1 and Abubuku FN Olympiacos Peru eso che Bodo Glimt share 2-1 Olympic Lyonnais eche Stuart Bucharest born 4 Saso ena Man United eche Ubuko FN Real Sociedad ebono 4-1 Real Sociedad ne di kan eche goal Oya Zabal and a share penalty on the 10th minute and on the 16th minute Bruno Fernandes take out with penalty Bruno Fernandes is also nya penalty on the 50th minute na sa penalty no ultimately if he so asenaso na anwa e ho Bruno Fernandes a shebiem red card eko edema brata FN Aramburi enya red card ho Bruno Fernandes e share 4-1 and I said me fan said the third goal no am out to say yes Bruno Fernandes bo hat trick enra and Dalu and so the fourth goal no and so the kan ho a and e omotumi atwafa Real Sociedad so ukopiemu wo Fenerbahce and Rangers Fenerbahce for etumi share 2 goals na chances omunya ye senko mbe share na omunya the third goal no ma qualify no omo bo ni nyina tugui penalty kakra so omunya ye no referee no said da me ko hwe VAR ne da hono ma otimi se Morino dwala papa bra mo call penalty shootout no Abrante FN Tadic ese ne de saso na Abrante FN no Fred ese ne de na Yandas enso ese ne de hono ma Lawrence na Seni na Abrante FN no Tavernier omo na mo hye edema Rangers na wo hwa Zeku ene Jiku ene hye edema Fenerbahce it was not enough though omo win 2-0 na so omo ntumi an qualify Tottenham Hotspur che AZ Takma ebo na kamiensa ema AZ Takma timo ba ko horma 3-2 on aggregate na ane Tottenham Hotspur de eko omanim say be ba qualify Eintracht Frankfurt qualify Olympiacos Peru qualify Olympic Lyonnais qualify Man United qualify Rangers qualify Sasso na Tottenham Hotspur so qualify e horma Yansha Conference League no yes Conference League no and also resource Circle Brugge echi Jaglonia esha ne kamienu ama Jaglonia tumi ante Jagaden eche Pafos shene kamiensa honoma after extra time no ultimate Logano usha during ekoya 4-3 honum 4-3 no Logano wini ye Rapid SK Rapid for no omo ne Burak Banja no mo bo 1-1 omo no mutumi se MYBET honum nyama nkoye Chelsea so eche Olympiacos ana kopie gan hye ka baako ana Florentina che Panathinaikos ko hye ne ka miensa ema omutim baako Ligia also enso ewini 1-0 na Real Betis so che Victoria Guimaraes ebo ne ka 9 ama omutimi ante Real Betis a qualify so na Ligia also a qualify Florentina qualify Chelsea a qualify SK Rapid for qualify Lugano a qualify so na Jagaden a qualify na Jagiellonia enso a qualify honoma yade mount. Shannon so say the next round of fixtures no say net here. Ligia was or any Chelsea never bo. On the 10th next month. Sasuna Jagaden and so any Rapid and never bo. Real Betis and Jagiellonia and a berry daso. Florentina any Sergi at the Beboani. Jagiellonia any Real Betis return leg in Bebaso. And Florentina. Okay, so these are the games. Chelsea Ligia was or Jagaden SK Rapid Betis Jagiellonia Sergi Florentina and no any the next round of games are Ebebaso honma me bon deru and so etumi e de achro okopiem so Europa League na Bodo Glimt any last year the redaso Tottenham Hotspur na Eintracht Frankfurt Lyon and Man United Rangers ne Atletico Bilbao Lazio ni Bodo Glimt and so the bebo any honum nti eno enho nsam na me so etumi ede abro yenhwe endra matches ni mu Europa any Conference League no Vincent na afidi aka no yemfa ento aso.
Right, listo here my enchant for the UEFA competitions and some of my exciting games are it was nice and exciting to watch. Those games and which I the Europa League. Some of the teams had already qualified. Looking at their first, results by in the first leg, and some of them too needed to win to secure. Their way into the league. In general, the game I started with the Atletico Bilbao game and AS Roma game. This is a game at Roma. Rene 2-1 at Rome Stadio Olimpico. I can catch us prior to that game. Me catch us Roma was one of the most informed teams in Europe. That season, and Roma had an impressive record. But me catch us this is a game. Two teams in teams they are very good, especially if Bilbao is playing at home. But you have side on time Lusu and over almost by 20 games our born. Lusu just 2 times. I mentioned say Barcelona and Osasuna. That was 2 consecutive losses when you're in for the first time a BCS Bilbao Lusu yache almost by 3 or 4 years ago. In Timikacho was Roma so on the other hand list so no bo home also a very good side at home. This Fisher Bayern I mentioned say both teams might be able to win their home games, but the results and the number of goals because this is a situation whereby of late away goal in the end county beer. So if a team wants to qualify to the next competition, both legs so both home both away no. Now say whoever wins the home game should be able to say a bit win more games a bit me about and me catch us say if you really want to go, the best option is say let's go Bilbao handicap 2 and now be my AS Roma handicap 2 whoever the odds no my odds na kesekaka now they are man. So I wasn't expecting Bilbao to win by 2 goal margin, at least by a 1 goal margin. Tenra we game now amoko 3 unanswered goals share 3 to also from Abranta and then Nico Williams. And I catch us say if Atletico Bilbao wants to qualify to the next stage of competition, Inaki Williams and Nico Williams and some of the key players especially Gomez and Abranta and Ruiz, they have to step up for the team. And then Nico Williams about 2 goals Inaki Williams so about 88 minutes in the game. Then Brown left back and then Eddie Yuri Bechiche on so enya aye the third goal no and so it me edemo but listo the man game in assign the red card at Matt Hummels as early as 11 minutes into the game. And the dynamics of the game would have been very difficult for Ayetman Atletico Bilbao. In as much as Matt Hummels edged the red card in the first 10 minutes in the game, no. Aside that, he was also a player, Listo. Or sounds so every first half, no, it took to the last minute, the final minutes in the first half, after the referee 3 minutes total, no, the 48th minute, and then the Nico Williams, it's me ball goal. When they came into the second half, Bechichi, did the second goal, and in the last minute, and yes, Roma find ways and means almost beat me, open the scoring for themselves, and Leandro Paredes 90 plus 3 minutes and she a penalty Eddie Roma. If not the red card at Matumos Jia, I think that the handicap 2 for Roma or handicap 2 for Atletico Bilbao options are Medima would Juma de Zone and Drado ka a bit me abo into checking me code and answer me better made to draw for a sports arena now. The only bet matcher SA bet was a Roma game because that one Yama Roma handicap 2 and when the red card by them say no, this is going to be the game I ever saying in daily chops. So kudos to Atletico Bilbao for getting that emphatic video. At least Ernesto Valverde, the coach behind the team, so an experienced coach. We're coaching Barcelona. That so if this coach is behind a club like that with the talent or more, it makes it even more difficult for opponents to go by. Eintracht Frankfurt listo. Almost share Ajax 2-1. Amsterdam. And coming home, now I knew that if Ajax wanted to qualify, they would have to win by a 2-goal margin straight. No extra time as them. Nanka they are qualified. But I know Eintracht Frankfurt financial said in as much as Omolusu or Maxman, apparently they Omar Mamouche halfway the season. Yes, though Hugo Ekitike, Eddie Mario Gotemo actually said with Abranta with the absence of Abranta Eddie Omar Mamouche, Hugo Ekitike, any Mario Gote, any Bahoyam would continue the good work that now Omar Mamouche this season. And after some question Ayas, I knew that of late now Ayas were very good form and no again but catch say Eintracht Frankfurt for last 5 games. I'm winning just 2 and I'm losing 3. And in fact, the games I'm catching some losing two one of the 2 of the biggest clubs and as 2 of the most informed teams in the Bundesliga, which is Bayern Munich, anytime they Bayern Leverkusen. And they also lost to Union Berlin. Anytime they will meet Union Berlin, I'm not giving them very tough. So in as much as no more record after losing to Roma, no more bought 3 games to Arsenal. I knew there was going to be a difficult game for Ajax, especially losing at their own backyard, and I knew that was going to be very difficult for them. But at least I was expecting maybe a double chance for Ajax. By a 4-1 defeat to Eintracht Frankfurt was something I wasn't expecting. And kudos to Eintracht Frankfurt team. They've done well, and looking at where they are going, I think that if any team wants to win the Europa League, they should beware of team and the Eintracht Frankfurt. Lazio Victoria plays in Listo. I think that Victoria plays in for them. They did very well, knowing for a fact that Omotina Fiema Lazio coach 2-1, and I knew that if Lazio were able to pick an away win against Victoria plays in a homer. When they are playing, they do very well. I think it was going to be very difficult for the Lazio. But all things being equal, they managed to get a point. And yes, the Lazio so it's me qualified to the next stage of the competition. In fact, official Lazio lineup now, they started almost more lineups more real players more bombing in the league. And yes, though they lost they are a hard dream. So I think that it's a good points, and that's a good qualification for Lazio for no. And they also are a sider. They are a very difficult side, and they can cause havoc to any team who wants to win the Europa League. If you want to win the Europa League this season, they are a sider. You have to bear in mind that if you really want to win the Europa League this season, you have to score a Lazio to move to the next stage of the competition. Listo. The Olympiacos and a Bodo Glimt. Olympiacos finally, I knew that they were going to win this game in as much as almost say a penalty, and after say almost say a penalty, they also had a red card. And also, the red card came the diembers of the game. But Russia, they lost 3-0 to Air Bodo Glimt in the first leg, and that was the done. It was a game over for Bodo Ford after scoring them 3-0 at their backyard. And I think that Olympiacos, I knew they were going to win this game. Home, but the fact that if they were going to score 3 unanswered goals and also stop Bodo Glimt from scoring. Young Bodo Glimt over the years, they're free scoring side. A team, they play very good football. They rely on so much attacking football. And if you are playing with them, even if you are going to score them 6, you have to bear in mind that they will find ways and means to score. No idea, very possible. Until what check it, Bodo Glimt. Last games are listo or Maba. The last time Bodo Glimt failed to score was when Omoni Sparta Prague. Boy, that one cry was a club friendly. Into no untimi enshira and fan cancel. But since then, any competitive game Bodo Glimt failed to score was a gamer Omni Tromsø, a boy in somewhere in October 2024, and a boy a goalless draw since. And after that, Samson Royal Unit St. Gallen Gelua for a boy 0-0. Since then, games on Boinano, they find ways and means to score, and it was a great victory for Olympiacos, at least to make the home fans happy, to make the home fans have some beliefs in the Liga. The domestic Liga Ecos they will also do so well in it, and they will check it on domestic Liga they are on top with 60 points ahead of AK Athens and Panathinaikos, and it looks likely they might be able to win. So that win will boost or more a bit more boost more domestic presence, and all things being equal. Bodo Glimt, I think that they did very well. Lyon Style Bucharest shared 4-0, and once again Ernest Nanenuyama was on target listo and about 2 goals, and I'm happy for this boy. Obekaya, since Okoko joining Lyon, he was having difficult times and injuries in, and for a fact that Lyon team also form echo for Bekaya Skasembi by do Webina Lyon for no, it looks likely that they were going to go relegation. They had now Omu team, no Everton, Fulham were all reaching for the boy, and then they list to they say Richie to pick to actually in the last 6 games at least to Wabono was 3 goals in in the last 6 games and before this game in the Liga, my boy in the Serie A no Otimi in a fine goal against Nice, long range Kelabi or Boshe, and people were talking about it, and then so was answering 4 goals. I knew it was going to be a difficult game for Style Bucharest because what's if you have a show of 3-1. It looks unlikely. Say, obey me about Park Olympic Lyonnais Stadium or at me about So yesterday I knew that Olympic Lyonnais was going to score. I knew that we were going to see a lot of goals also in this game, and Lyon Fono are qualified on a basis of 3-1 aggregate of 3-1 7-1 on aggregator, a very huge scoreline. But I knew that Lyon so one of the side at least to pick it very well. You look at attack and Branton Eddie Alexander Lacazette Omambo Omorestino Matic Estati free bench, the young chapper Okoko ball hat-trick, Okoko 2 goals for a year Lyon. More way gamer Style Bucharest Coco Boy Malik Fofana, that young chapper. I need the France for believe say he's one of the players that all that potential. All these players didn't start, but then almost started Branton the Mikaltadzi Estati Ernest Nyama Rancheki Branton the Jordan Veritoots and Juan Tolisso Mina, and so 8 started, and then the 3 strikers now. And 3 upfront players almost starting. 2 of them in elbow brace, which is a Branton the Mikaltadzi and a Branton the Ernest Nanenuyama. Especially getting that 2 goals, the confidence Wagada in the last games. I'm very happy about it, especially him being a Ghanaian, and he said the growth and then in the form of Wawa Beniano will also help the national team as well. So I think that in Esnyama Listo, he did very well for Lyon getting that victory. Manchester United Listo. And I think that check here. Eddie Kanka said Bruno Fernandes is just like a Bugatti Bia. You see a crazy baby in Tabodine in him. What's in Tabodine? So the United team in Tabodine. And Abranta and they Bruno Fernandes Bugatti. So the United team, the owner of the team, Team Nangsansa as a club near Tabodine, and then the player in the club Bugatti. So Asha, listo. Man United for last games of my boy, especially last 6 games of my boy. Listo. Bruno Fernandes Ashe 6 goals in their last 6 games. And Okra assister who provided and Samsung by Intene from the last 6 games against Everton. Listo. Bruno Fernandes Ashe goal, and he was also one of the best players on the field. Omobama United a ball 2-2 draw against Everton. Against Fulham Osanso Shego, that is in the FA Cup quarterfinals or Omoboy. He also scored a goal, assisted by Abranta and the Eddie Diogo Dalot. And when the game went into penalties, and a couple of first star in the United, so it's me a free boom again. Against Arsenal, that 1-1 draw on boy, he scored the first goal for United, or the first goal in the game. And then on your 2 penalties, Eboshe, Esanso Eshe, the decisive, the winning goal, no, Esanso Edinburgh United for United, winning 4-1 against Real Sociedad. And it was a game that I was expecting team it is Real Sociedad to give United a tough test in after that draw number home. And most of the teams, they are very strong at their home grounds. But in fact, United now home record under coach and the Eddie Ruben Amorim, it wasn't good at all. But the last 5 games before this game, no, I winning 2 or both draw 2, 2 and we lose 1. It was very bad. Benra getting that victory against Real Sociedad was there. In fact, Real Sociedad for Listo Omunyamba Old Trafford winning game. This game was the 4th time Real Sociedad Asia United. The first time they came to Old Trafford to play United was way back in 2013 at United. And since then they also came back in 2021 United ball 0-0, and in 2022 United Old Trafford. That was when Gamer Abranta and the Eddie Bryce Mendes. That game was the Europa League game round 1, first round. The group stage of my boy, and that game, the year Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof, and Tariq Malaysia, a lot of players in this setup was there. We share almost starting lineup. The only players are Omuni United setup in Musisia, Omuni United team in Musisia, Fred, any Elanga, Ronaldo, any Anthony. But since then, all the players are almost starting were there, and they had that victory against Real Sociedad. Listo. Bruno Fernandes said no game no boy no. Ababe Mekino, the player with the most goals contribution in the history of the UEFA Europa League. 41 goals contribution in the Europa League. In fact, this season Bruno Fernandes has been performing right, and Yedi Kanka said if even 2 or 3 players in the United setup are giving in much effort, are putting in a lot of effort, like Abranta and the Eddie Bruno Fernandes, United team, their results, their position, and whatever they are doing this season, there would have been a lot of increase and a boost in them. You how Coach Ruben Amorim listo or buy integrity Abranta and the Eddie Amad Diallo to that right wing positioner. Amad Diallo was scoring goals for fun before Abeko injury. Until you realize when Amad Diallo be picky form, it got to a time United were not winning games through Bruno Fernandes anymore. They had another player they could rely on. Until the next United show be you want to say, oh my marquee Bruno Fernandes, and now you are stopping Bruno Fernandes to provide a number of assists also the man in the striker session to score goals to let the team win. And they would do attention so a certain Amad Diallo will take you by surprise. And then they United strikers both Joshua Zexi and Sexy Dondon, Abranta and the Eddie Rasmus Højlund. They are not performing, and these are players United to over 60 million pounds. So if you have a player like Bruno Fernandes to step in for you always, listo, it makes the game a born and I say it makes the presence in your team alone. Some confidence behind a hat trick in the Europa League was something that was happy for every United fan. Listo, you can't say Jose Mourinho. The reason why he's one of the best coaches in the history of football, and say even if Mourinho lose, the kind of confidence go Listo in football, and your talent play the bubble, you the emotions, you the what how our best IQ players ahead of the game. A lot of things goes into football, and sometimes if supporters and our fans share from afar, they might not be able to see all these things from afar. But then we check it all Nema Ekwa. It means that Jose Mourinho is a coach. Nema bit okay. No, Alisto Olusu 3-1 at home. Emma Rangers question a lot of people if Chabo Jose Mourinho. Nema Bebrina, and so it's me of course. And then after everything, when Jose Mourinho buy or by Glasgow, everybody Rangers say go into the game. He told people point blank, the post match, the pre match or if Rangers have been able to come to Sugru Sarakugru Stadium, they Fenerbahce, I don't know Jose Mourinho, hopeful that they will go to Glasgow to go and score Rangers. In the no game in the by we end. Na ya dia Fenerbahce for no listo omo arene by 2 goals. Ama game no a travel call penalties. Looking at the Nema Ekos no, when they were at home, Rangers by a bet a share no. Yenya Alexander Jiku, Emma Nebeteka, and yes, almost answer betanat ho, Emma Timandin, a year. Fenerbahce, Kano, share 3-1. And when they were coming, Mourinho made a point blank that they were going to score. Into check your lineup, and the players Mourinho started were players or started he made a lot of changes in their lineup. And they about Sabranta and the Nelsri, about Talisca, about Osai Sam. Amrabat, Fred, and Abrantia and they Unya the 2 goals, Simanski, Estate, and Skriniar. And Brandt and the yourself as Chisek Munina Estatienra, the Ghanaian international Alexander Jiku, and so every bench a buyer, and no you who are Brandt and the player bit say Rodrigo Becao, the Brazilian international for Marino, Saint Maxima, Suyunchu Munina, and yes, Edin Jeko, and so it's me Bamu, every bench. The last time no was started Edin Jeko and El Nesri, and this time round or Insane or about just one top player with Yusuf El Nesri and Talisca behind that player. And working so well for Jose Mourinho. This is a Mourinho side at least to Ushima on any notable names. Maybe he or a lot of players Bima Omaba Bejo honestly from Sevilla, Edin Dzeko in days from Man City, going back to Inter Milan, Roma, and all these teams, or Talisca, or Fred, or Amrabat. But these are players that they are not world beaters. But yes, still, Mourinho at the Sam Rantewe, Aquacoshe, a Celtic team, Glasgow, and they were qualified to the next stage of the competition. And yet, it's a warning to United and all the teams who wants to win the Europa League. If you want to win the Europa League, you have to make sure that their teams be or her. You have to know that especially Atletico Bilbao, Lazio, and then the team and the Fenerbahce. Tottenham Hotspur so ebe complete a year comeback. And in fact, this week Europa League in Listo, a lot of comebacks in the Bermu. Into Asha you home a year. Atletico Bilbao, Olusia, Obaberi near a sounds who Olympiacos who won who lost out so but the one was quite unfortunate. Also Entimian Rene, Leon so Rene, United Ebaberi and a Fenerbahce and one yet again a Timanidin at the Tottenham Hotspur. We shall Tottenham echo away Coco Lusu El Rotterdam. Listo. Me catch us say is a tack my phone home games on bono. The side Eden say wait my home. So when Tottenham Hotspur was going to AZ Akma or home venue and as Netherlands, I mentioned so it was going to be very difficult because this is a side at least to over 18 games, 15 to 18 games at least to Mabon. No, also just one game to Sparta Rotterdam. Some shocking defeat, last minute 90+5 goal bia Gofono Edishomo. And as since then, it was going to be very difficult for Spurs. But Mr. Sukacho said, Spurs is a team in as much as also Ensheda and the home record this season, or you one team honestly the home record, although they've been losing to some few teams, but these are teams Tottenham Hotspur or Manhuadin this season, they lost to Chelsea, they lost to Liverpool, Newcastle, and they also lost to Manchester City. The only teams I made mark as I thought I'm losing here. Now I wasn't expecting them to lose that game was against Leicester City and Ipswich Town in the last 15 games analyst or Amabo. So I knew that it was going to be very difficult for AZ Takma. This is a team a ban home performances they are doing so well, but a baron saying a year performing to the highest level away games they don't seem to be doing so well they are Listo. I think that it's very good for them. But aside that, Listo, Tottenham Hotspur near to me, Listo draw Naba, and their teams we know that they might be able to get the win. Makes me mention that United are a favorite, Fenerbahce a favorite, Tottenham Hotspur a favorite, and maybe meet me the Atletico Bilbao because of the pedigree of the players, the experience, any coach now almost side no. This all the quarterfinals pairing by them. Tottenham and Frankfurt. In fact, it's going to be a very difficult game, knowing for a fact that Tottenham will go home first. No? If they win, going back to Germany is going to be very difficult. Mario Götze, Hugo Ekitike, and all these players of Mohon, they are going to cause havoc, and I know that Tottenham Hotspur with the kind of quality players they have at their disposal, and the players be free injuries is going to help them. So Tottenham Hotspur against Eintracht Frankfurt is a game to watch, another tough game for Tottenham, but I see them passing through. Bodo Glimt Lazio, another tough game at Listo, a bit so Akoso, and I see Lazio qualifying to the next stage of the competition. In fact, Omoko away first, and this is the Lazio Obetimaka pick a point from Bodo Glimt home when they come to Stadio Olimpico in Roma. Obetimaka Panishomo. Rangers Atletico Bilbao, another tough game. Bilbao for no, they are Omoko away first. They Obetimaka Kolusu by a lone goal match. If Rangers wants to qualify Listo, the first round they have to score Atletico Bilbao more than 2 goals. If not that, Omoba back to a Spain, the basket where this team a bit massive. So in this team, I think that Atletico Bilbao, looking at how they are starting the game fair, Omoko away first, I'll give them the benefits of that so. Another one at least two, Mesanso Ashe, team and Lyon and Manchester United. Lyon and Manchester United is going to be an interesting game, but in fact this season United one of the favorites. What check your games so far? They haven't lost in a game in the Europa League, and is giving them everything. They will go for Mokakubo away first, and after that away game at least on the ball, they will come to Old Trafford. But Lyon is a team that I think that this game it might see especially the outcome. Sabia team be qualified to the next stage of the competition, might see penalties, and maybe penalties will also decide that game. Quickly on the Europa Conference, the Conference League, and now Cercle Brugge, Eshe to Goromshe Jagiellonia, our first leg, Jagiellonia for the 3-2, and it's a game that now most of us we knew that the Ghanaian international Abu Francis beat me, but no red card, so he was missing that game. And since then they won 2-0, but it was quite unfortunate that the first leg I'm gonna call Lusu 3-0. So winning 2-0 no gave the nod to Timane the Jagiellonia for MMO qualify. And Fiorentina ebechi Panathinaikos session washa game na Panathinaikos in your early 3-0 goal lead against Fiorentina in the first leg. And I'm not my Fiorentina, but this is a Fiorentina side without Moiskin. First leg boy now Moiskin enka because of the injury, and then the second leg Moiskin ebe boy esanso ebenya go, and then they Brandon and Albert Goodmanson and so enya go, and yes still a Brandon and Ed Rolando Mandragora and so enya the goal for them. Ruben goes is na Asia Kaimon, but it was obvious that Fiorentina when they are playing at home, they have a good side also call Fiorentina home over Stadio Antemio Franchi. Akwa show mo listo I na edin because proud to the Enra game me catch us say na last almost 5 games on my bono home no more lose just one. That was too that shocking defeat that come for no echo surprise no, and since then ball 1-1 draw with Torino. Washa Inter echo this is a venue Inter home so Panathinaikos going there. I knew that it was going to be very difficult for them, and Fiorentina Manika say they are one of the favorites on me aqua final. looking at the kind of players, the pedigree of the club, especially there's kind of goalkeeper, more experienced goalkeeper like David De Gea, Waji the Europa League with Manchester United. I think that was going to be very difficult for them. Legia Warsaw for no listo. Omukoko share mode 3-2 away. And they also got a 3-goal lead on Mutanama mode for Betty. I knew that it was going to be very difficult for Mo to score, but I was expecting both teams to score in that game. And then I spoke about Victorio Gumares any Real Betis game. No, listo. Mikakacho said, over almost bare 25 games and since last season. Listo. Victorio Gumares for Omolusu just 2 games. Omolusu just 2 games since April last year. ABC and almost lose to Betis. No more lose just 2 games. And the wash teams are no more show home. It was just Braga. Any pool to pay and net Makakoshomo. Sporting CP called them ball 4-4. That was a gamer. And they Sporting for no Omoshe no mawa beshe Omoshe no masama Betty. A close encounter and no it took a brand ending at a year Trincao. Last minute goal. 90 plus 5 minutes, go Onyaye and a man is Sporting for PK draw. So this is a team since last year, April, listo, over almost close to a year. Now Omolusu just 2 games. So I knew it was going to be very difficult for Real Betis. After say Real Betis now, Victorio Gumares, my ball a year 2-2 game. But my catch was if Real Betis wants to win the Conference League, looking at their performance this season since Anthony Johnyomo, they have an experienced coach in the name of Manuel Pellegrini. They have players like Isco Mo. They have a lot of experienced players at their disposal. If they want to, Pablo Fornals, a lot of players, Bakambu, Anthony, Rodriguez, experienced players are. And if they want to win the Conference League, they have to go to one of the difficult venues in the Conference League. No matter they mean business. In fact, the Conference League, they want to win, especially going to a stadio. The Alfonso Henriques winning was something that was up here. And then Bakambu able 2 goals, and yet Anthony and Isco also go. Bakambu this season, he's a player that he's been scoring for fun for Timanidin Real Betis. In fact, in the last 3 games at least, Wabama Real Betis no was 3 goals for them and so after so free injury by picking the form and he's back to scoring. And then Isco share goal, Anthony na assist and then Anthony share goal, Isco na assist. Since Anthony Timanidin Real Betis in Listo, Washa 4 goals, I provided 3 assists. In fact, that is the number of goals Awashama United in the space of 2 years or joining on. So I think that Real Betis is one of the teams to watch. Listo, and no Chelsea, Copenhagen. In fact, first half, the game very nice for Chelsea, but after the game the coach catch us the first half, because Chelsea boy game without a shot on target in the first half, and the coach was part of their plans, and it took since second half Enzo Fernandez free mo Joyce Achampon free mo Kukurela Mobile. They started creating chances started creating chances. That brilliant goal Kenyan Jusby Horshe, this is a player. He was Leicester's best player from after someone qualified the Premier League from the Championship, and the coach although qualified by is the same coach at Chelsea. So when Jusby was coming, we knew that he was coming to do a lot of things. But this is a season that Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, and Romeo Lavia are players that, in fact, we check your age and the potential and how Chelsea person. These are players and it's very hard for Jusby Hall to get the nod. And then when you go in that game, how was she going? It means that this is a player that even if some of the players are injured, also be provided. And Chelsea are qualified to the next stage of the competition. In fact, they are the giants in this team. They are the only team in this competition. Imagine the Europa League, as also the Champions League. And then after the game, almost draw now so etimiaba. Let's to check it draw now. Real Betis any Jagiellonia nebebo. And after Real Betis any Jagiellonia no, Celje any Fiorentina so nebo. Chelsea any Legia Warsaw. Chelsea bebo home first. Na wako Legia Warsaw home in the second round. Then Timandi any Jagaden any SK Rapid for any bebo. Listo. Ohi ne ekona. With this draw, I can even predict the teams are on the semi-final. I see Real Betis winning against qualifying to the semi-finals. I see Fiorentina qualifying to the semi-final, and Chelsea and maybe Timanidin the SK Rapid qualifying to the semi-final. But in fact, the final list clear. Where Chelsea path no namsuna. If Chelsea wants to qualify to the final of the Conference League, they have to score Legia Warsaw. They have to win against either Jagadin or SK Rapids. And these teams in 9 teams are, even if Chelsea is using Team B or Team C, I don't see these teams qualifying to them. But yet, we are going to see a Chelsea Fiorentina or a Chelsea Real Betis final in the UEFA Conference League, because these two teams, I see them going to the semi-finals, and in fact that semi-final will determine who will play Chelsea in the final Conference League in the list.
Right, into that is the Europa League and the Conference League, and I yet to me summarize be bia kama to me Eddie Amamona only say na Friday and na Friday into you call weekend round of games in mu you be share that pick kakra the 5 selected European leagues. Now over Ghana there are news cause you see as breaking news in the sense Suatraman for say Omar withdraw from the Ghana Premier League, and send a meeting I say many Japan because they don't deserve to play in the Ghana Premier League. What they did, look, they don't deserve to play in the Ghana Premier League. So for Omar to sit down and say, okay, now you're training well free, Ghana League, I think say a step in the right direction. In my estimation, yes, it is very, 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 very important. Whoever commit heinous crime should be what call out or say to me call it or send a bear serving as a deterrent. You need to call those people. Edu baby na say oh yesu kra ejayem mumye ne mobo ne yense nsuatraman and as debi let them pay for what their sins. Call them out, call them the ugliest names are deserve you, describe them as who they are, because from Division 1 and almost started some bunker for Division 1 and almost started some bunker for me say omo ni Techiman City me remfi da almost to 2 a there to say Techiman City driver no go speed no mo di moto diomachi ti say sabi ye act a horror movie Premier League or football ye kokoji eni eno a Chelsea boy eni jamba Man United supporters amanfo ni ache opa ukọ East Legon baby a high sense for we ni wono obekona manfo a ejira ho ejira omo na so nyeso mo ti wo they are standing watching a football game omo board 90 minutes a extra time omo jira ho hwe. That is the excitement that people get watching football. And your manya okwa bola, you will definitely see a talent. Ah, when you say, hey, I go in more poor, I go in skills yi. Now, so amount for no prefer person barber shame because of attitude like what in Suatrama demonstrated. It is a now I was expecting the FA to sack them. So Omoma sack Omoa, you better say, and they will not be missed. Me, for instance, I will not miss them. They are a disgraceful bunch of people and an embarrassment, and they should be what? Conscientizing the next generation. Let them understand, say, they are human beings, so they should act like human beings. Ubi babe shebo, ubi babe bobo, we say, me bono, me prano, sa me diemu, if me trofo mo anoma ba me diemu, you see, you me say, you do much me see se me hu anka me hu dada kwase asem saa jimi sem saa the only thing omo dwen say o metima ya ne say o me pra o me ku eno na e chese wo ye be ma no eno chese wo ye coward jimi fo no wo se kan wie se wo dwane ade na onye be ma se obenam Ghana ha o wie wo dwane so you are a coward. And any partner wo no obi abonidi people are even calling say was say then you see the statue. A generation will come and they will mention Police name. Police name will be the good side of history. Akwana we dwane no. The busu afọ kra no now they are embarrassed. So on be babo because the busu ani no. That is the difference. It is a adwin ni mutrim. Na se mo de an say yen ye be pumu ha ya ba no kwa de be 3 points. A warning to all the other teams now mo be no. All be no all you team ye obi ba wa hye no okodi enye intimidation ya bu ye yese and I just say ubebi Diana starts a bunker for. The only thing achievement one is relegation asa. They don't gain anything. You pitch on boss ball. Africa, you go 5. You go 5. And then one I brought for the same they are cashing in billions of dollars. Muhunyansa na mo de won say dey be kunipa e be bunipa na there. So I try my money nyamenko and I'm telling you say you will never be missed. Nobody will miss you people. Chairman Blasters squad number.
Yeah.
Mesre we so de beto so amaye Mr. Sak. So afatu so mame. Fatu so mame na atiefo mo hwen no. Ye mo bomfa mo. So two timi wi ameba omo prano so goalkeepers no Lawrence Atizigi, St. Gallen, Joseph Wallacott, Crowley Town, Benjamin Asare, Hasselhoff, Gideon Mensah, AJ Oze, Ebenezer Anan, Restart Belgrade, Mohamed Salisu, AS Monaco, Jerome Opoku, Istanbul Besiktas, Alexander Jiku, Fenerbahce, Jonas Ajete, FC Basel, Razak Simpson, Nations FC, Kingsley Schindler, Samso Sport, Anna Kamara Dini, Mamudu, Mediama SC, Thomas Partey, Elisha Usu, Abu Francis, Enomode Kudus, and Ernest, Niyama Babe count just to balance the equation. Our midfield, but we show my central midfield no, only 3 players. And to answer menyo, Kamal Din Sulemana, Jordan Ayew, Jerry Afriye, Inaki Williams, and Christopher Bonsuba. Almost omo planning. Yenfa injured players in so. Ali Dusedu, Tarek Lamte, Brandon Thomas Asante, Abdul Mumem, Joseph Edu, Abdul Manaf Nuruddin, Abdul Fatah Ishaaku, Baba Idrisu, Ibrahim Sulemana, Dan Ekofichre, Majid Ashimeru, and Joseph Pinto. So these are players on my press. So, Chairman,
yeah. Listo, I think that the list, before this list was about, Mosha, me predict me squad. I made the man, my boys, busy come on here, backspot for more some flyer be, and just 4 players. Pe any players are me meant me for man count this list. 1, the goalkeeper Benjamin Asare. Obi Remo. Then I think Jonas Ajete, and I think Mr. Jonas Ajete and Kamaradine Mamudu and Branton and Christopher Bonsuba. These players are I think on my back squad. In fact, Thomas Partey I returned it to the squad. But looking at the goalkeeping department, if Benjamin Asare we know for sure that he's not even going to keep 1 game. And the Manaf Nuruddin in recent games at least Wabo. And I don't know if Manaf Nuruddin is injured because the list are by about the players who are injured. Manaf Nuruddin, Mahunidin womb. Okay, Abdul Manaf Nuruddin womb. So it means that he's also injured. That is why Omode Abranta and the other has a full goalkeeper, Frederick Benjamin Asare, Ababeshim. Gideon Mensah, I will check the defenders now. Gideon Mensah, Ebenezer Anan. In fact, these are the apart from Babaraman. I mean, for Park or joining almost 2 seasons in the or born home in the Greece League. Why I say he doesn't want to play for the national team because of personal reasons. These are the 2 left backs. I feel like the best so far in our system. Recently, Ebenezer Anan issued 2 goals for Restart Belgrade. Kevin Aves that he's been playing day in day out, and it's a fantastic player. Samson and Gideon Mensah for Orze in the French league, he's been playing day in day out. Mohamed Salisu, I think that I don't know because listo for Salisu, Monaco he struggles to be playing time. Salisu a starter in the Monaco setup this season. So I'm a Black Stars. Somebody will be this is the Black Stars. We defenders from Sameko Formo from the olden days ever and a Black Stars and I say players in Monaco. This is a player Ekokopa na choma ne buy, and in recent times he's a fine defender. You call Afcon ihundi okoko ye e can so be bon central for nema, but this time round he's not been getting playing time Monaco. O check it on my last 5 games list against Nancy some share 7. Abranton did Mohamed Salisu one started one Sansom and Bobby Kra after some share 7 no against Benfica in the UEFA Champions League. Mohamed Salisu or ebo 5 back and so Salisu and started or free not bench when Timmy Mama Bobby against Lila Omolusu 2-1 Mohamed Salisu and started and also no bench one Sansom free bench and back against Monaco any Reims Monaco for share 3-0 Mohamed Salisu and started or no so one Sansom free bench and back and against Toulouse ball 1-1 that is their last game boy Mohamed Salisu in the game or no answer started and was also on free bench and so Salisu since we free Southampton come Monaco list he has been struggling for playing time. And you see, if you are going to play Chad, despite Salisu for recent years ni kudine chi pana choma ne baye so bebo maye GFA president ne chita for far playing call UK kudine chi ne kwa kasansan ba tiasia ma walusu form. So I'm not expecting Mohamed Salisu to start. In fact, uko Turkey league ni ma Jerome Opoku has been playing day in day out and he's in the squad. Nicolas Opoku Kasim Pasa, he has been playing.
You know it will not be possible.
No, I'm saying that on starting and our best
as far as Salisu wo team nimu. Sariki wo team nimu. No coach. And a bench.
Listen, why I didn't tell coach mean to be bench? That means we are not being fair.
We now our performance here or than a Didima Blasters. It has been like that all this while. But Abdul Mumimba, no Abdul Mumim to bench. Joseph Edu, but not Joseph Edu
to bench.
Jerome Opokuna or Kani. Wabama Wababet bench the Ama. Salisu Ama Sudan a fan washing. So it's not like say we oh I didn't know woman.
Yeah.
I didn't know woman. Very solid.
Emma FC Basel.
This player friend Kasim Adams.
Kasim Nuhu Adams.
There be
where new Kasim.
Nuano. Ahmed Adams Nuano.
That's what Black Stars Dana.
Yes, he was a Black Stars way.
Emma Santo be prior cry free.
Yes.
World Cup cry.
One thing is on these players when we don't have a team. Now omo frawa catch you say you beg them. When you fit. So time na only team na not we no. Ote bench no.
Yeah.
Yes, a friend Kasim Adams. Kasim Adams. Or Hoffy and bench no. Now look at the performance. Obama 70. This 70 team.
Amusha Chelsea.
They are fighting for the league. The Swiss league.
Yeah.
What I say?
Amusha Chelsea home.
Yes, Amusha Chelsea.
Kasim Ebe boss again.
Yes. What I say? So ye call up na ye no. Ye ni plan o. Me met my catch us. This is the time I reached Ufori. Ye hiano. Ye call Afcon. We didn't need him. We didn't need him.
Because come back and say if Atizigi, they be a Federal Wolocott. Now they be a Wolocott Mameda. It means that we are not even ready to bring any competition in the your goalkeeping setup. So now okay, Richard Ofori, we call players at the wrong time.
At the wrong time. Richard Ofori, the timer. Now the timer won't. Na ye day. Ye na timer ye hiani. Richard Ofori, this is the time ye hiani. Because this is the time of them.
But is it listen go? Mama follow Ghana League from 13. You know Richard Ofori a good goalkeeper. Yes, from our stars.
Yes, Richard Ofori has been our best goalkeeper. In recent
he's one of the goalkeepers but Omar running through from under 20 under 23 look at Black Stars Black Meteors to the Black Stars and you know for them money Michael Simon and under 20 that time Pogba money we more time for them that go French prep free I think that was the semi-final Eco 3rd and 4th
Richard Ofori ne beda ya almost share 4-1 be.
Yeah.
And that they winning 4-1 that day. That was the organization. Oh, Richard Ofori was good, and since then he has been one of the best goalkeepers for our national teams, not only the Black Stars. So what happened to him at the AFCON can happen to any goalkeeper. But the thing is, he was not playing regular football.
Yes,
he wasn't playing.
Orlando Pirates.
He was
They
playing.
called him and made him the number 1 choice goalkeeper, and he was all over the place. Nena Albono, Yafa has me say has a goalkeeper no or divisi. Me mentano no kwena make mo eyada o obi o amoju say bia wo no wo kasa keke na wo yewe I'm a trained coach, just that I'm not a licensed coach. I'm a trained coach. What I was taught was talent identification, team organization, and other analysis. Talent identification. So, coach now obey we no. Not upper blasters Juma crowd. I apply for blasters Juma or Denmark ni. Me finding the dinam there. I have the certificate there. It mean go we a good player. What be Obama. See ye still show. Na me change Obama boy we a good player. Bizajiku eba me catch some me catch no e ojiku. First time who say you ko fabro for ne basa na a man for make comment. Here Jiku 1 or 2 na make Obama.
No, I mean
Jiku a good player.
Jiku ni days from Hofia. No, your boss number 6.
Yes.
And Oba Black Stars, when he's playing, this is a player, he's been playing at Jose Mourinho born. You see, there are some players being more listed from days from Strasbourg. They are sure Jiku say no, this player has to play for the Blacks. Even if when Black Stars, ne wa Mate, or other defenders are, ne a defensive midfielder and Kobe ye Jubanama Thomas Partey no. Well, even the Black Stars was number 6. In the first corner for Black Stars, he played as the number 6. That was when he was playing as a defensive midfielder for Strasbourg. So there are many players at least too. I'm expecting them anytime you better call up them. So yes, I mean even those days are now you call World Cup your players be more hard, especially at their club side. No more playing time, but maybe your home say their presence or a minimum or a friend say the national team a bit mabwa. But at least too, if you have Mohamed Salisu who hasn't played a single game in over 5 games. No about the ball against Chad. At least to Chad for a friend is saying omo squad nearby. Nidino
no
but Nidi obetimi aba. But I'm not and I'm making say if they are going to start him, that is when you be boy drop say any Sudan because Sudan players don't be boy at least to they don't play for any big game teams well. But Sudan team and they are active.
Yes.
Into Zokofa Sudan almost striker and I in Niger Ghana for 2 year more Sosa day in day out of bo into the stamina sharp Obesha Saliswa most of the ball themselves Salisu to me enchino and that is the mistakes are day in day yeah and yes you players don't win ball. In fact when Mohamed Salisu call Monaco listen he was playing
yes
Babronino o form the pair Obebencho Sabati I say, o form the pair, or bench, and then you see be a player. So in medical can say in football, there's nothing like player we was and a player we onimbobo. Who check Madagascar for and I say chart for line up on the ballisto. Or play bien wa or any top club. Or me number league or na teams or matakes in fact or me na about Chad league. Most of our players in Chad League na number. In fact, check here, their goalkeepers just back up a number or Chad. First 2 in our Chad, or more defenders in our Chad League nim, or more midfielders, or more in our Chad League nim, and more strikers in our Chad League. And these are players at least to I think about Ghana Premier League. And they are selected the best players. Also, they selected the local Black Stars and the Black Lads now. So who the number of players every? Your free players are cut across Kotoko House of Mediama players who winning ball the ball league and they play day in day out. So imagine what's selected foreign best players with the inclusion of just 3 local best players day in day out. No Mukakobo against a Chada or Mubo local league day in day out. Mohamed Salisu on the last 5 games on board game. Our rusty list all. Then I okay BC. So for me. Squad now friend there. Ghana you players, we have the squad, we have the names. But say you say justice I did my resource now. List all. Me for me, the defenders Kingsley Schindler for South Sport. Also about day in the out. And I'm happy with Kamaradini Mahmoud, no my friend on the list.
Yeah.
He's
a very good player.
And you see, this is a player list. Was shot 4 goals. I have 4 assists for Media Man this season. When the first among Media Man in Lagos Cities, I think either the second the match day 2 or match day 3. Media my boy. He scored a goal. And Okitaboa or some modern day right backs nibi. He can defend, he can attack, free kicks ball, corner duties ball, nebo. And this is a player that if you man the confidence on the Black Stars, no ball. You Razak Simpson boy. When Onya Black Stars say, in as much as some of the yes, and American commentary I can say on now I say she wants to a person on show me say yes and you see because of say on discipline and goes now saying na corner kicks na we giant crossing no we giant marker but aside that goes list all some clearances be some aerial duels the passes composure on the ball he was very good and these are players that because you local players in the list yeah from our Mambo Boa especially former House of Folk captain Fatao you call FNB Stadium of South Africa. One more your senior stadium listen too much. And you see, that is why sometimes the journalists and some of the people can't do justice for some of the players. But who players be more? If they have more chance, they will play and play more than. But I mean, after all, you have just 23 players. You have just tournament. You have 26 months scored for a tournament. And in fact, with the defenders, some of the players on me, I don't have any issue. The issue I have Mohamed Salisu, but on no inclusion in the squad, I don't have any problem. But I'm not expecting him to start ahead of Abranta and Jerome Opoku and now Razak Simpson. Although Simpson league no I think no one match into also in some way also bet my Rasta and so be lucky match fitness, but I'm not expecting Mohamed Salisu to start ahead of any defenders no more, because in fact most of your defenders are needing some more prospects, especially Abdul Mumin, Joseph Edmo. They've been struggling with injuries, and for that matter I don't have any problem with that. Yeah, midfielders, I'm quite surprised. Say you're just 3 central midfielders.
Now, why is it that Obobo or any other African country, the same African country for now is share my into minimum? We have players who are dominating, and yani Tanzania, Uganda, any share, we're not able to beat them. We had a Kotoko striker leading them, and we're not able to beat them. We have our players playing in Tunisia, Morocco, Rwanda league near better than here. We feel comfortable calling players from our league, but we don't feel comfortable calling players from other league winner much better than here league.
Because listen, Ucheke Abu Francis, Sekou Bruge, he has been playing. Elisha Owusu he has been playing. You say in fact, Otuado favorite player, and Thomas Partey. He has been playing. Now let's look at Listo. Let's look at the players if you the bar say but in fact you see I don't even expect them. Some of these are injured because apart from 23 players in the list, these few players they are not the only Ghanaian players like them Massey. So in the national team, when Thomas Tuchel here in the squad buying, the reason why the 3 Lions of England for injured players. I said the Black Stars just for some few maybe 30 players because I have a friend is saying some matters for left back here a friend almost say Isaac Afu he didn't injured players. He's not the Black Stars player. The last 2 games
almost the Black Stars
you see
almost the Black Stars because of say they are incompetent. They don't know what they are doing with the Blasters, right? So they always want to balance the conversation.
When was the last
time? But you see, the only thing Ghana for here is victory. Say where you say, oh yes sir, it means you are dropping honesty to be dishonest, because you know deep down say player where he doesn't deserve to play for the Nigeria. But let me bring him. Send a bear me satisfy. I'm out for because I need the me no kase sir. Okay, you call 2020. You call Morocco. Echo ball qualifies.
Yeah.
For Olympic Games. Obekai.
Yeah.
Once you do Bruni be by no ne dan lad and I pray. Yes, of our Sheffield United. Koko be a friend of Misa.
Emisa.
No kasa.
Yeah, mahu.
So okay.
Yeah.
Sa goalkeeper no. Omo ka kire en say o ye Germany ni and o my do ma convincing the number. So me wo blasters. So he omo be man go through the ranks. Say be ya obey familiar with how we do our things near that day. And he say fine. Oba na the lad na first choice. Nobody obi ankasa. Ona na second choice. And ama ye game bi kura no chi penalties obeka ya.
Yeah.
Why we are after sa team no ye disband sa team no after so mo ye we.
There's nowhere to be found.
Ye tumi anya players a free sa team ni mu. Ama ma ba be bo blasters. Dan lad be boy.
Yeah.
A year be bo
Has striker e crab Bobby Koye.
Banye abe Bobby. There was defender no was Niama was part. Fatao Shaku.
Yeah.
We lefty ya. Oh, that was some brutal what you lefty. Tenting or blasters nanu ya. Terry Yegbe ababa bebo. Goalkeeper na make him catch you say. Aside omu nyina no, player what to me are making a lot of prospects. Niama uyi Niama yi Fatao Shaku. That player and a third. Go to the league, you know, Scottish league, you know. Emisa. He's one of the best goalkeepers. No. Yeah, kofane by at the time I know no cry no be any no. Emo by say oh oba be dey. Oba be familiar with we. And then now when you go that week in week out now was say you didn't be no be understudy because you are young. You kwa 32-year older. The first international game you call Nigeria or passable the ball chain. I mean, 32-year-old. I ain't name say after sad qualified games we will not call him again because Anna says Anna here Canada we kotoko keeper. Say omo returning one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know man friend because he's been part of the team for a very long time. But I'm dropping a cock for has goalkeeper no and number bedem. And I just omo use blasters no edema debut edema local players, local based players. Say they don't deserve to be there. So why don't we, when the Ben Yebeka said today we are going to do the right things, let's use data analysis. Player Ben wabo more minutes. Ne born at saying ya the never be boy. I didn't know Kasim Adams, one of the best ball playing with. That time now not of him no be money. Omoni did the Comoros, okay, any Comoros, he was part of the team. Okoko Bobby and the Comoros, Emma Comoros there. That time no need team. And then now when your team are all week in week out and the team is challenging for a title, no. Ya Janu and Yakofa player him say he's not ready. He's not ready. Say ya the Bible World Cup. He's not ready in Nigeria. Say he's not ready, but he didn't go. Some of these things need to change. We need to change because it doesn't help anybody.
This to Odeshadio. Oh, last time Nigeria ball friendly match. It's 2024. Your ball, I think the March 2024 Nigeria ball friendly match. That was the last time Baba Idrisu. Eboma Black Stars. Baba Idrisu pedin the injured players. Because recently he has not been playing for the Black Stars. He has not been playing. Qualifiers, African qualifiers, Wambobida. Baba Idrisu, in fact, this to check ni records are. And then the last game, the last time Baba Idrisu ball, even Ameria was somewhere in November. So Baba Idrisu in recent times, we've not been calling, even when he is fit playing Ghana, he and friend. So I don't know why we brought this list out. In fact, you have to leave it to the journalists, the online portals to do their work. Oh, why did Ali Dusey do Tariq Lamptey, Obama Brighton and so on? You have to leave it to them for people to know that Joseph Pinto last 2 months there's a lot of write-ups just say when you injury and he started the MLS no, he has not been playing. Yeni Majid Ashmeru, yeni Ibrahim Osman, yeni Fatah Issaoukwa, ni Bev the Abiyan himself or rehab Oba. So why do we bring some friends a list of people nipa kakre bi you don't remember. So where is Abranta and the Isaac Afo? That is the question. Is he also injured?
Where is he?
Yes.
Where is
so he? If you are not going to do press conference, say obi be bisa wo coach na sembi na bomb because the last press conference between the two adjoining journalists no. So it's a deliberate say press conference be into the squad but just bring your squad asa. If you have any questions let the media team interview the coach. You understand? Oh, play be a coaching because maybe there might be some of them. Okay, where is Michael Bedu? Where is Michael Bedu? Yes, where is Michael Bedu? Is he injured? He didn't call plan of agile. I don't say be on playing time about be or ni former DP because you how no she goes to Elsburg. Where is Michael Bedu? Is he also injured? And now Sunday they say on kind of plans won't be. Where is Andrea Ayew? Ever listening?
Andrea Ayew there. Yes, only Kokoro Nankasa na anya problem.
But say coach make I so onya retire. Analyst to mbo.
Ono de nokre na meka cho. Nokre ni na meka cho. Say ketu kreku na FA president Andrea Ayew mbo Blasters bi. The fight na between Ono ketu kreku. Utuado has got nothing to do with it. That is the bottom line. Yeah, for Blasters they need to share weekend games.
Yes. Listo. Quickly on the weekend games. I think that there's going to be a lot of games. Listo. Ebekosu in the game. Over the weekend. Meshe Manchester City Brighton. Listo. City for no almost struggle. And what checking Listo. City for no. Almost last 6 Premier League games. Almost winning 3. Lose 3 and Brighton for no after lose almost last 6 games after losing 2 consecutive games to us almost last games baby. In fact their last 6 games winning na they are one of the few teams last 6 games in the Premier League are winning 6 games nina and it's list to City for no top 4 no munimu until if they are going to maintain the fifth spot. Now say Arsenal any Aston Villa won't qualify for the semi-finals. It means that 5th slot and Premier League Kebenyano actually and they have to fight their way to the top 4. And City the 5th, Fulham the 10th. Who check the points gap between Manchester City? Any Fulham not that 10th, at least just 5 points. So if City don't continue winning games, their last 10 games Yembo League they may find themselves around some and it's listo. Who check Pep Guardiola? He's one of the best managers, arguably. People believe that he's the greatest manager. Who got top 5 managers in the history of football? You have to add Pep Guardiola because of the glorious, the kind of football baby could be and the blueprints other teams. So people believe that, and I also believe that he's one of the best managers ever to ever come into the football industry. No. But listen, the last time Pep Guardiola elusued more than 9 games and 9 games in the managerial career anymore was somewhere in 2019-2020. Oh, lose 9 games. Listen, this season already, City are losing 9 games. If Omu lose 10 games, it means that Pep Guardiola, the number of games I will lose more in a single season this season. So be lose 10 games, and yes, so looking at how they are performing, if Omen 10 things around that, I see out of the 10 games, City might even lose 2 or 3 games in that games now can. And so list 2, City for lose just 10 games in the almost history of the Premier League. Almost lose just 10 Premier League games in one season. So almost lose more games. So a defeat from Nyamia Adama game of money bright Melbourne. Ebesan so my City's for so I omo West record. So almost lose 10 games out of the 38 games are on my boy in a season. And never be near Koso. Listo, who check City for now? Almost last games on my boy wait here. Almost last 8 games, Listo. They have failed to win 4. And almost like other 4 out of the 8. No, almost winning. So their last 8 games, Listo. I'm winning 4, I lose 3, and a game back, ending a drawn game. Man City for listo in as much as name Queen. Omit me a lot of comfort for the fact that Omunya lose any home game against Brighton, and that alone, Emma me assurance that City will win against Brighton Hove Albion. Brighton for Listo, they are doing very well after losing that 7-0 defeat at Nottingham Forest for sure. Oma winning last 6 games no competition, but they can't come. Oma winning in the last 4 in the Premier League, the longest ongoing run by any team. Say team they are winning our games in the Premier League. Be in the last 6 games on board. Brighton for form yepa, and because of fine form one, I see them scoring a goal Manchester City. In fact, City elusu at least there will be a disaster. The season number 10 year, especially because Lusu ya na form when just 2 points separating you from the team are another 10 points. And see, who check it the Premier League log now listo points na bubo boss any who da 4th from now who drop some so much points about the baby. And the 4 or 42, Man City 47, Newcastle that 6 or 47. Brighton now Man City by list or that 7th position or 46. Even if Onunya a point cry against Manchester City cry, it means that he is coming to get the same point with Manchester City. Aston Villa or 45. You Aston Villa form. Antoine some normal team. Bournemouth or more 44 points. Fulham or 42. And in fact, Crystal Palace more below 10. They are all 39, 38. Who lose 2 matches to drop it some points. The other teams will catch up at least or everyone never mind. I think that things will be difficult for Manchester City, but with the home record and in the history of this game, but I don't see Manchester City losing. Maybe a 3-1 victory for Manchester City in this game will be very highly possible. Let's do. I'll look into the big game because in the Premier League this season. In fact, Chelsea Emirates or share Arsenal, and it's going to be a gamer. Check Chelsea last 10 games against team and they Arsenal winning 6, Chelsea are winning 1, and they 3 I draw. So in recent times when Chelsea is Arsenal or especially when Mikel Arteta a team no it's going to be very difficult looking at the league log right now. Chelsea at the 4th with 49 points with 2 points ahead of Manchester City and Newcastle and 3 points ahead of team and the Brighton Hove Albion. If Chelsea lose against Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City share, Newcastle share, Aston Villa share, all these teams list to Chelsea beat them that by the 7th position or the 8th position on the league log after losing that game, and it's going to be very difficult. Say Chelsea will lose that game because this season here Chelsea performance against the big clubs they dominate the games, and Arsenal when they meet a team all sharp attackers or team dominate or mutimi ebre. Arsenal from the list to joint league high 9 home games at halftime, especially at halftime. Wait me to take a go Arsenal. She said halftime Arsenal is not going to lose because at halftime I'm only just 1 and I'm draw 3. Since then all other 9 home games on boy in Arsenal listo so it's going to be very difficult for your Arsenal team. Looking at how lining up and more players are injuries because especially we check Arsenal team now listo Chelsea were a lot of players from injury. Wesley Fofana back, Rhys James back from injury, and the only players among your fit which is Nicholas Jackson, Magui, Noni Madueke and Mikhailo Mudryk only the near suspension. And the thing is, after this Arsenal game at Chelsea called the international break, Noni Madueke and Nicholas Jackson will be back into the squad. And you look at Arsenal setup, they have Havertz, who is going to miss the rest of the season, Gabriel Jesus, Raheem Sterling because of the loan into the last weekend best is it man of the match or Champions League one boy, and also Bukayo Saka so Epra, Gabriel Martinelli should now be prime to beat me on the first start, Leandro Trossard so beat me and a lot of things are a bit so in this game list too I see Sarah because of how Arsenal game this season they defend so very well and they make sure that if they are not scoring they are not going to concede goal. And this season Chelsea, if Kopama is not scoring almost how Messi goal. And Kopama in the last 10 games, he's been struggling to get a goal. And then you don't have Nicholas Jackson, At least goals be. You don't have Jadon Sancho in the last best 7 games. Onyanya assist and last time Onyanya assist on Onyanya goal. And Chelsea cannot only rely on Marco Cucurella, who has been scoring for fun this season. In fact, if Chelsea are going to get the 3 points or a point in this game, it means that Enzo Fernandez, Marco Cucurella, and the Chelsea attackers have to take their chances. If they're able to take their chances, I may see Chelsea getting a point out of this game. This game, I see it to be maybe a 1-1 draw, a goalless draw. Then I also look into another game. Another game I'm sure this game over the weekend so be Leicester City and Manchester United game. Listo, it's going to be very difficult. Only Leicester City and I share 5 opening goals against Manchester United in our last 9 Premier League games this season. And it's Listo, the coach behind Leicester City was the coach when United for Palm Eric Ten Hag. The interim manager and also turning things around before Ruben Amorim take maintains at hand Manchester United and Oba also koko joining team Leicester City Niama Nkoye. In fact, before Oba joining Leicester City, now Leicester City war home record they do so much well. In as much as Leicester City if Leicester City are playing at home at least and I wasn't expecting Leicester City to dip in form. In fact, who check Leicester City for Listo last game they are without a win in their last 6 games. Lose. They lost against Everton. Lose to Man United 2-1 in the FA Cup. They lost 2-0 to Arsenal. They lost 4-0 to Brentford at home. They lost 2-0 to Leicester City, and they lost 1-0 to Team at Chelsea. In fact, in their last 9 games and our last 10 games, Listo, winning just 2 and lose 8, which is very bad for Coach Anedin Ruben Van Nistelrooy on in the former team United, which he has played and he also managed the team as well. It's going to be very difficult, but I think that Listo with Man United, how they are gather momentum, how they are doing their things, and I think that United getting the draw, a double chance for United is highly possible. But this is Leicester City team only winning last 6 games, and they will hope say me some win. Especially this game, I don't see Leicester City also losing a war. So in this game, I see it to be a scoring draw. I see it to be a scoring draw in this game. I think that United for the Europa League, they also hope that the Europa League maybe the FA Cup. United might not be able to win the FA Cup. The Premier League is out of reach for United, and also the Europa League Liga. Ruben Amorim will say at least obey me and the first trophy for Manchester United. Another big game at least European leagues Atletico Madrid up against Manchester City. Atletico for Listo, they've not been lucky cry for the past 2 weeks. They a lot of big games, and in fact, if Atletico Madrid wants to win the league, Medican can say if you want to win the league, teams now no more. You don't have to drop points against them. 1 year their crampono, you should be able to get at least a point. Mun share points at least. Mun na muko kushia nketwa no ase ho a mo ayesa nema no ade amomo. So what? But they lost to Real Madrid. Estadio Wanda Metropolitano. In fact, they won the game.
You are talking about the
Champions League. They lost.
Yeah,
they
won the game, but they lost
on penalties because of first. Yes, and they are coming to play against a team and then the Barcelona beam. Looking at how Atletico right now, the Copa del Rey, they are out of the Copa del Rey. The team in the Copa del Rey, and the Champions League too. Atletico
Copa del Rey.
I think of someone maybe
Barca ball 4-4.
4-4 away.
So they will host Barca. Wanda Metropolitano. Second leg. Madrid ne ko winning 1-0 against
Real Sociedad.
Yeah.
And if they want to win one of these games, it means that, especially if they want to win one of these trophies, that is against Barcelona and against Barcelona also in the Copa del Rey. This is a game or Nick Barcelona variable home. And in fact, listen to the game against Madrid, how they played. Madrid, how almost set up on game. That will not be the same way. Team and Barcelona, listen to best set up. Especially on lineup and on the ball. Barcelona was sharp attackers. They will have Rafinha, they have Lamine Yamal, they have creators who makes me creative. But Madrid team, they don't have a lot of creative players in their setup. Who you look at Modric for all these years, no creative chances. Benzema, Vinicius, Mushana. Right now, he's not being able to be creating that chances. This season, me and say Modric, why up to even 10 assists. Chamel ni Kamavinga munye players on my year, and the only players they are creators and they are scorers in their team. Right now, Madrid money can only initiate. You have to defend very well. Send a bit go. And Atletico Madrid were able to do that. Atletico Madrid, would they be able to stop Lamine Yamal, Rafinha from not scoring? Because these are players they might not be able to but they will create the chances for both Dani Olmo Firmino Beshego, both Pedri Firmino, Rafinha mo, Lewandowski mo. They will be creating chances. So I don't see Atletico Madrid stopping Barcelona from scoring, especially how game number and Listo ending in a 4-4 game. And Barca, so defensively, that high line on board, who players attackers they can shoot from anywhere, who attackers or make them creating chances you can also find ways and means also bet him their creating goals. Into what check Atletico Madrid, any Barcelona Listo, last 5 games on Barcelona are winning 3 times. Atletico are winning just 1. And then 80 man at the last 4-4 number in Ababe draw. But let's talk about the venue they are going to play this game. In fact, last 5 games between Atletico and Barcelona at the Estadio Wanda Metropolitano. Listo. Barca winning 3 times. In fact, the last time they played at this venue, Barca Ekoko winning 3-0. That was when Joao Felix Eko back Ekoko Hanti Omo Lewandowski and a brand ending any Fermin Lopez, Rafinha mo and Lewandowski mo assist for all these games. And yet again, the last 2 games, Barca Ekoko share just 1-0 at the Stadio Wanda Metropolitano. That time, Ousmane Dembele was there, and Atletico are winning just 2 games. So in fact, Barca up against Atletico Madrid, most at times it produces goals. Sometimes, depending on how Atletico Madrid want to set up, it doesn't produce goals. So if Atletico yes, Charlie, onya a point against Barcelona, it might not. You might not see a lot of goals, but Atletico with that pain defeat, if they want to repay their supporters, they can cause havoc to a Barcelona team. Atletico this season, when they have their day, they can score any team in Europe this season. And let's come at the police to war. I'm avoiding defeat in 8 of our last 10 league games. When I'm more considered first this season. And even if game Barca shall first go cry in the first leg cry, I still don't see Atletico say bottle leading. It's going to be an interesting game, but this game to list how Atletico for among game against Madrid, they are 4-4 against Barcelona. These games to list I see it to be a scoring draw, a 1-1, a 2-2. But if this game what better take chances especially Barcelona and Atletico Madrid, anybody can win this game. But to me, I see the fair results to be a scoring draw in this game.
Right. Okay. Yambo and so Yamobo and game so.
Yes.
With the odds because.
And then me daily chops first game, Norwich. Any Norwich game list or omebo. I think say you need me person kamenya code no. Hey, my first game, Norwich game Norwich ni team and dey ade remember I need load it. My network na intim person come yes. My first game Norwich Bristol City ni Norwich City game over 1.5 goals in that game. Las Palmas Deportivo de Alaves bebo. Sa game over 1.5 goals. Genoa Lecce bebo over 1.5 goals in that game. And St. Pauli any TSG Hoffenheim and also over 1.5 goals in that game. Makes sense to be in Bristol City, Norwich City over 1.5 goals in that game. Las Palmas, Deportivo Alaves over 1.5 goals in that game. Genoa, Lecce over 1.5 goals in that game. And St. Pauli, any TH Hoffian game no, over 1.5 goals in that game. Listo, code near 68SY. 68SY.
Right, okay, so me so me dey say na tie boss ama ya for onya bobo ko efe Hamburg ene Hamburg bo oko Bundesliga 2 Hamburg bo over 1.5 Galatasaray to score 2 goals obo home oko Hungary your player your team be efe na Paxi FC ebo me kono win or over 2.5 St. Pauli ni Hoffenheim over 1.5 in OJC Nice and AG Jose over 1.5 Genoa ni Lecce Genoa home win or draw Bristol City ni Norwich win Las Palmas and Alaves over 1.5 and as far Rabat and Maghreb as the face and ebo win or draw under 4.5 for a year as far Rabat. Enti eno enso eneme die no nyame adoma Monday yebesa hia hye no so se koye group nim Telegram account wo no etwa good de ya de all sin nyina be go de amount se na be ya so betwa obedi na bibia so atumi akoye oti eye Vincent nka producer extraordinaire eye papa ye fe no Mr. Sack DJ Asaka ewa hase so na bra kwa kuso ewa hase nyame adoma heze de wakume ohumi penani ya masha because say no game FIFA no the boys all can fit Asaka from Asaka to Kwaku to 36 bia me show mo ndi ohumi sana no mo ya masha mo nyame adoma Monday ye be se hia na de aka chenya de abra